So your team needs a tight end in the draft, and they didn't end up with Kenyon Sadiq. So you ended up with Eli Stowers. Yeah, don't worry. You're going to be just fine. Draft Miss covering 25 various different prospects between now and the NFL draft on the 23rd. We covered Kenyon Sadiq yesterday, probably the biggest tight end prospect we've had in quite some time. Let's cover another tight end prospect, solidly the number 2 tight end prospect in this draft, Eli Stowers out of Vanderbilt. And honestly, in most other years, this guy would probably be the number 1 prospect at tight end. Diego Pavia's favorite target. You remember last year, Eli Stowers helped Vanderbilt on that crazy run they had in the SEC. One of the best years they've had in quite some time. Eli Stowers was a fantastic target for Diego. Listen, his stats didn't really go off the paper like insane, but what was insane was his athleticism and his intangibles. A lot of people say that Eli Stowers is a better athlete than Kenyon Sadiq on the field. And you know what? Depending on when you're watching and what tape you're watching, he might be right, dude. A couple things about Eli Stowers that I find very unique. Number 1, he used to be a quarterback. So again, that creates a level of vision and a level of just instinct that you might not have in other players. I mean, we talk about it with Jacob Rodriguez being a linebacker, being a former quarterback. Same deal with Eli Stowers. I mean, you would hope that that vision helps transitioning to the tight end position. Like I said, Eli Stowers is an athlete. Dude ran a 4.5 40, had a 45-inch vertical. I misspoke yesterday talking about Kenyon Sadiq. Kenyon Sadiq, it was actually an 1.5 inches off of Eli Stowers in the vertical. And in long jump, Eli Stowers had an 11.3 long jump. What? Insane. The athleticism is always on display with Eli Stowers. I mean, great catch right here. Very sure hands. I'd say probably better hands than Kenyon Sadiq. But again, the upside with Kenyon seems to be so much stronger than Eli. And for various reasons. We'll get into it momentarily. But I'm telling you, if Eli Stowers hits his ceiling is pretty impressive. His route running, solid. No complaints. Nothing too bad there. Yeah, I mean, probably not as crisp as Kenyon Sadiq. Nonetheless, even seeing him on some of these tight end screens like you see here, you see that vision that he gained as a quarterback. You can see that he reads the field very well, and that's something that you could really use in short game situations, right? I think the ceiling for Eli Stowers, we're looking at a Jake Ferguson type, and honestly, that's a starting tight end consistently on 20 different teams right now. Jake Ferguson, you got to remember, 2-time Pro Bowler. They run very similarly. I'm watching the tape, and funny enough, Jake Ferguson, Eli Stowers, very similar strides. I'll tell you what, I think if this is your ceiling and you end up playing like Jake Ferguson, you're going to be just fine. Now, that said, unlike Kenyon Sadiq, I think the downside with Eli Stowers is he's kind of one-dimensional in a way. When I say that, I mean this is a receiving tight end. His blocking is... it's not awesome. Listen, he plays in the SEC, right? The SEC is stacked with incredible defenses, but Eli Stowers was not a great blocker. Just he whiffed on a lot of blocks, or ultimately would give up on him kind of early on those option plays where, all of a sudden he wants to get open and Diego Pavia's got somebody running right at him. It's something that I think with time and effort, he can definitely improve on, but this isn't going to be a guy who right away is going to solve your problems. If that's a glaring problem for your team. There's just some things that he really needs to work on that will ultimately put him to the top of the depth chart, right? I think on a team like the Panthers, I talk about the Panthers quite a bit. A team like the Panthers, he skyrockets to the top of that depth chart, right? But I think for his benefit and for his career, that might not be the best spot for him. Now, if the Panthers need a tight end, and they certainly could use the help there, he's a great option for them. I think for Eli Stowers' career, the best places to end up, number 1, Baltimore is a great example because obviously working behind Mark Andrews is fantastic. And I've seen a lot of the internet getting behind the idea of him being on the Broncos. The Broncos have Evan Ingram. They could use, Bo Nix could always use more weapons, could he not? And I think that this could be a really great situation for Eli Stowers. So I think that's a great way to land. That's a great place to land. But nonetheless, for Panthers fans, again, if you're really, really hoping for this tight end position and Kenyon Sadiq is off the board, listen, give Eli Stowers a year, maybe 2, and this guy is going to be just a phenomenal tight end in this league. Again, he's already got the athleticism, he's got great vision, and certainly has sure hands. Work on the blocking, could really be something special. Who should we cover next? Of course, we're in the middle of draft miss. We still got how many days until the draft? 22 days left until the draft. Come on, man, let's get into it.